Welcome to the Universal Drummer. I'm Wade. Today we're gonna just keep on working on feathering the bass drum. If you haven't already, there are two prior videos that you can go and work on. And so if you're just jumping in here, you're welcome to join us. I do encourage you to check those out as well. This is the first that I am actually shooting in landscape, so I have that going for me. Today we're gonna switch gears a little bit. The last couple days we've been talking about and working on just keeping the beater low and working on some different feel things, trying to create uncomfortability with the actual technique of this. Today we're going to play around with time a little bit, leading towards kind of some synchronization stuff. The last couple practices were focused more on the technique and getting a feel for how the pedal feels underneath our foot, getting the motion of playing the bass drum and trying to find some productive uncomfortability in that regard. Today, I'm going to be switching gears a little bit and focusing on the metronome. So before, I told you that, excuse me, before I told you to not get too caught up in the metronome because we were just using it as a guideline to have a steady rate with our foot. Today, don't get too caught up in the nitty-gritty of the feathering technique, and instead, we are going to focus on the metronome. I have it set to 60 beats per minute, again, which is a second. What we're going to start off with is just playing, feathering, trying to keep it low if you can. Obviously, the goal, just as before, the goal was to be on time if you could, but just don't worry about it too much. The goal here is keep it low, but what we're working on is time. And so what we're going to do is, I have this gun. I'm going to bring up the first note emphasis. We're going to start working in measures today. And let's just play quarter notes to this metronome. And what you're trying to do is play so evenly that you're not able to hear the metronome. So I'll leave this here so that y'all can see. So the goal today is going to be trying to land our hits exactly on that metronome. I'm going to have the camera on the foot, so you're not going to have this visual aid. So you're going to have to count in your head and gauge that in your head. So let's just start doing quarter notes. And it'll be 1, 2, ready, go. I shifted to a softer beater so that you can hear yourself over the video easier. And just take note of what your tendencies are. Do you tend to rush the metronome? Meaning your beater is landing before the click? Or are you after? Perhaps you're right on. Something tricky happens when you're dead on is you will begin to not hear the metronome at all. I personally have a tendency to rush, and that is probably because, as usual, I drank an uncomfortable amount of tea today. Caffeine will absolutely affect your perception of time. All right. Next, we are going to do the same quarter note exercise. However, we are going to play a little bit before each click. So what that's going to look like is instead of, it's going to look like this. So it's like, boom, click, and it could be less. How much you play before it, the degree at which you play before the click does not matter to me. I want you to just understand the feeling of rushing the click. So if that makes sense, let me know in the comments. If you need further explanation, let me know. That being said, let's get this beater switched out. Shabam! Okay, and so we will start on 1, 2, ready, go. Again, the degree at which you're playing before doesn't matter to me. I just want you to know what it feels like to try and slightly beat the click. And so that could be this swung, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. It could be whatever you want. If some of you are looking for a way to make this harder, try and keep the degree to which you are beating the click, the degree to which you are ahead of the beat. Try and keep that even. All right, now switch back to on the beat in 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're done. All right. So we played on beat and ahead of the time. Now we are going to, and you probably guessed it, play a little bit behind. This is going to feel weird. You're going to feel like you're dragging. So slightly after each click, I'll start in 1, 2, ready, go. Ooh. Okay, so we played ahead of the beat and behind the beat, or sorry. Okay, so we played ahead of the beat and on the beat. The only direction to go is behind the beat. This is the one that's always harder for me. I tend to rush, so this is always a bit of a challenge. What this is going to sound like is... So you can jump in and 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so now we're gonna up the difficulty. That's very difficult for me. Playing behind is particularly hard. Letting this metronome run. We've got our groupings of 4. Each grouping of 4 is called a measure, for those of you who don't know. We are going to do 2 measures of on the beat, and then 2 measures of ahead of the beat, and then 2 measures of on, and then 2 measures of behind. So on, ahead, on, behind. On, ahead, on, behind. And that will be in, and I'll start off with the harder felt beater. And it'll be in 1, 2, ready, go. On. Ahead. On. Behind. On. Ahead. On. Behind. On. Ahead. On. Behind. On. Ahead. On. Behind. One more cycle. On. Ahead. On. Behind. And we're done. Okay, excellent work. I know that that's super difficult, especially if you've never done that before. Again, if that's new to you, just let it scramble your brain and do your best. Don't forget that there is a slow down video function on YouTube. And for those of you who are perhaps better than me, but just looking for some way to structure their practice, you can also speed up what I'm doing in case you're getting impatient or you've done this all before. That being said, we're going to switch gears one more time, wrap this out with jumping straight to playing the bass drum and the ride at the same time, because one of the biggest parts of feathering is just... We are going to take that concept, however, for the sake of not being too jazz focused, because again, I'm just focusing on the kick, and for the sake of locking it in, we are going to do quarter notes. And in order to make each hit be very staccato, meaning the length of the note not last long, we are going to do our right hand on the hi-hat. For those of you who are just tapping your foot on the ground and slapping your right hand on your thigh, you can just do that. Either way, it's right hand on something, left hand on something. I also dropped another blanket in there, and what we're going to do is take this metronome up to 120 beats per minute and just play along with that. And our goal, and the goal here, just as before, we were working on landing our hits on time with the metronome. We're trying to land exactly on the metronome, but also have our bass drum and have our hi-hat land at the same time. So none of this. This is like a slow motion version of, or we want which I'm sure if you slow that down, I may still be being uneven. So I'm gonna bring down that accent. 1, 2, ready, go. The toggle on my metronome is still trying to feed downbeats occasionally. You can see it's down. It's driving me crazy. So right now, just trying to get these even. The next step in difficulty is of course going to be feathering that bass. But if you can't do this, just try and even it up. If this video or if this tempo is too fast for you, drop it by a half. You know, really utilize the speed options within the YouTubes. Underneath a really, really good swing feel is especially with those great players, behind a really good swing feel, even if it's, you know, even if you're not going, but it's like, is a absolutely deadly even quarter note pulse. So if you can't do quarter notes even, especially with both of your kick and your left, or your kick and your right hand, you're gonna have a really hard time when you go to bring in this left foot, because in jazz, for those of you who don't know, the left foot is doing either, you know, some people do this rocking motion. I've seen, and these two, if this right hand and this right foot aren't even, good luck getting that even. So let's take this tempo up a little bit. We're gonna go to 130. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm playing, probably 7 or 8 inch heights with my right hand, and I'm trying to play quietly with my right foot. So I'm working on having 2 different volumes going at once. Also, since we last did this, my band loaded back in for practice. All kinds of toys. That's the drum set that I use for my lessons. I like to do face-to-face. If you're interested in private lessons, hit me up at udrumwade@gmail.com. A little bit of selfish promotion there. All right, back to our regularly scheduled programming of quarter note at 130 beats per minute. Do a body scan right now. See if you've tensed up anywhere. I'm messing up because I'm also doing it. Should be relaxed right now, y'all. If this is boring for you more advanced players, you could do the swing rhythm, which is but you're still looking for that even right hand and that even right foot. All right, now let's transition from quiet to loud. So it'll be like quiet. Quiet. Louder, 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 quiet. Louder, 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 quiet. Louder, 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 quiet. Louder, louder. Keep missing that first hit. And bear in mind, like, on those louds, I'm still just playing with my wrist. Loud doesn't mean you're beating the ever-living crap out of your drums. I'm not here like, rah, you know, you're just like you're swinging a hammer, basically, you know. And then quiet is, of course, that tap volume. Feathering, but we're for the sticks. Same with the kick, you know. We're going to do the same thing. Let's go from loud to quiet now. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, loud. And quiet. Loud, loud, quieter, 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 quieter. So quiet, loud. Sorry, my face is itchy. And I feel like I have something crawling on me, which I don't love. Okay. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, now let's just do really low hits. I'm noticing today my feathering is significantly better. I might have just slept on the right side of the bed, but check that out. Remove your right hand from the equation right now. That's some quiet feathering right there, y'all. Oh, I did change my spring tension. I said I wasn't going to, but Rick Dior talking about how he likes his pedal board to follow his foot and not his foot following the pedal board rang true. So I'm going to try that out. My main priority is being able to get power in a rock sense. He seems to be able to get plenty of power, however, so it might just be something that I need to work on. It's a pretty common thing, making equipment decisions and setup decisions when a lot of times your limitation is not your equipment but your technique. It's something to always take into consideration. You know, there's nothing like knowledge and expertise to make you look at your instrument different. That's happened to me with tuning. It's happened to me with stick choice, head choice, cymbal choice, pedal setup, throne height, all of the above. All right, and 1, 2, 3, and we're done. Also, just throughout these exercises too, if you have epiphanies, if you have conclusions that you come to, tips, tricks, anything, please drop it in the comments. It's to my benefit. It's to the audience's benefit. Let's keep the conversation going. I want to do one more thing because I brought it up the other day, and it's something that I want to personally start working on a bunch, and that is that dribbling exercise. So what we're going to do is put this beater back on, and down here, get out of the way, where my spring is, I can just lift that and pull that off. And this is obviously for those of you who don't have a bass drum pedal. You can call it a day here. Good job. For those of you who do, put your foot on that bass drum pedal, lift that up, and what we're going to do is we're just going to see how many rebounds we can get out of this. Heel down. I know I did it heel up the other day to prove a point, but let's try and do this heel down. Immediately done. I don't know how many that was. I'll count when I did it. All right. I wanted to try that. Let's do it one more time. Let's do 2 of those. Why not? Ah! That makes my shin burn, like the front muscle. All right. Cool. That's about as many as I can do before my shin starts to burn. You know, that is one of the benefits of playing heel up, is that you're utilizing, get that spring back on there. You know, by playing heel down, we only have your ability to lift your ankle up like this. That's called dorsiflexion. You only have so much dorsiflexion. Your ankles aren't designed really to need that to go up, really only so much as to get leverage in order to push down. We like to jump. We use our calf muscle to jump. And so playing heel up utilizes that for strength. So something to think about. You are going to get a lot of strength that you're not going to get out of playing heel down. If you're playing jazz, it probably won't matter because most of your focus, you know, is going to be on staying out of the way of the band anyways. But for those of you who need to bring the hammer of the gods with your bass drum, heel up may be the move. Something to consider though, like even John Bonham, like he wasn't walloping the bass drum as much as you thought he was. He was playing with really, really good technique. So anyways, y'all have a good rest of your day or evening, and I will see you all next time. This has been The Universal Drummer. I'm Wade. Please like and subscribe. Have a great day.